Ryan took a sip of her tequila as her eyes roamed around the beach. She didn't admire such hangouts just because her father had to attend such events arranged by his business colleagues. She was always dragged because she was the next heir of the business. Then her eyes shifted towards her bodyguard. Usually, she had a big security team escorting her to important events, but this one, head guard, was always with her, accompanying to her every little hangout. She had rather spend time with him than to be at such a boring event. Jungkook, are you bored? He asked. His eyes were busy calculating the surroundings. Wine, I told you, let me escape. Jungkook, direct orders from your father. Can't help it. Wine, you should be following my orders. You are my guard, she said, offended. Jungkook, I protect you, but I work for your father. There is a difference. She huffed. He was no fun, always being practical, but she still liked his company. During his stay with her, how he had gone ahead and solved her every little inconvenience, and saved her when she was once poisoned by her father's enemy. Wine. Yeah, yeah, as always. She turned but yelped a little when someone stopped right in front of her. It was a little too sudden for her to comprehend. Carl, did I scare you? Did her unapproachable expression slip during her conversation with Jungkook? She didn't admire people coming to her, so she always wore such strict expressions. But overall, she was a sweetheart. Carl, let me apologize for that. I'm Carl. You might be Wine. Wine, yeah. I think I've seen you before. Carl, might have. I am a model. Wine, that for the Dior commercial. Carl, I've worked with a lot of brands, but yeah, you got me there. He leaned back against the bar counter. It was the first time Wine was conversing with someone so casually for as long as Jungkook remembered in his 4 years career of serving her as her bodyguard. Something about it didn't sit right with him. He exhaled and controlled his expressions. He couldn't let them slip. One glance at them, and they were bonding really well. He even made her laugh. Laugh? Great now. Jungkook was losing his cool. Wine had once shown her interest in Jungkook, yet he politely rejected it, saying it was strictly professional relation for him, and he couldn't be with her, knowing he was just a bodyguard and she was a heiress. No way her father was going to allow that. Yet, throughout all these times, both of them knew they were attracted towards each other. They had their moments, they were close, and Jungkook was always the first one to create a distance between them. Then why was he affected now? He had no right to. Carl, I'll keep in touch. He kissed Vine's hand before disappearing in the crowd. He seemed to not mind it either. Jungkook, seems like you're enjoying new companies. His tone was bitter as it came out. Ryan, you're pretty worked up for someone who claims to maintain a professional environment. Jungkook, you're pretty easygoing for someone who claims to hate socializing. Ryan, well, I do, but Cole seems quite interesting. I might as well go on a date with him. He offered, unlike you. She mocked and got off the stool. Something blew inside of Jungkook at the mention of a date. He stepped forward, placing his hand on the small of her back, and took her away with him. Why? I know, there's no threat around. Stop acting. Once they were away from everyone, he pushed her inside the car and got in as well, placing his hands on either side of her on the seat. Jungkook, you seem to really enjoy him. Shall I take him out? Fine. Stop it, John. You have no right to act like that. You are not my man. He clenched his jaw and wrapped his hand around her neck in a choking manner. Ryan, pretty jealous, right? She chuckled a little with difficulty due to his hold. Jungkook slammed his lips against her. She kissed him back without a second thought. She really, really wanted him. She wrapped her arms around his neck and pulled onto his hair. He growled and deepened the kiss. Just as she expected, he was not only rough with the enemies, but exactly as rough in the bed as well. Once they pulled away to breathe, she was panting heavily. Ryan, decide one thing, John. Me or profession. Jungkook, there's nothing to choose anymore. It's decided. He kissed her again and slid his hand inside of her shirt. He was too worked up at the thought of someone else even stepping near her again. He hated the mere thought of it. It was after an hour the two left for home. She didn't want to step inside the event again. Not like she was in any condition to do so either. Fine, there's something you need to know. Dad told me I was free to partner up with anyone. He didn't have to be a businessman like us. He cursed internally just because of that one thing. He almost lost her. Jungkook, I was ready to fight. Fine, that's why you have me, Jungkook. I don't want a man who can't fight for me. He held her chin and kissed her jaw, looking deeply in her eyes. Jungkook, now that you're mine, watch me go to any length for you. Thanks for watching.